Over the past 2 months, I've been able to take out $70,000 in payouts from prop firms. My strategy is extremely simple and very beginner friendly. You don't need any special software, no indicators are required, just the basic graph that's provided by every single prop firm and brokerage out there. And in just a second here, I'm going to show you exactly what I do every single day in order to obtain these payouts. But before we get into that, if you guys could leave a like on the video, subscribe, and join the Discord, link in the description. The Discord is off to a really good start right now. We have right around 200 members. I'm seeing a lot of really good trades being called out, and I'm seeing a lot of really good progress from our members as well. So now to get into the actual video, a lot of you guys have been asking me for another in-depth strategy guide. People have been asking me a ton of different questions about my strategy, so hopefully by the time this video is over, I'll have answered all the questions and hopefully given you all the information you need in order to make the best decision come market open every trading day. My goal for this video here is to lay everything out as simply as possible so that the most amount of people can understand this without getting into anything too complicated or potentially confusing. Okay, so as you guys can see right here, I have my trading view chart pulled up with NQ futures. This is what I open every single morning. This is what I look at every single trading day. With this chart pulled up, I'm just going to walk you guys through my process every single morning, what I do in order to catch big moves in the market. So the first thing I do every single day is make sure that I'm up in time before market actually opens so that I can scout out and see what's actually going on in terms of price action, trend, and everything like that. So what I'm going to do right now is pull up a vertical line and mark out the 830 candle just so you guys know. This is everything behind right here. This is everything that happened prior to market open, and then this is everything past market open and what happened throughout the actual trading day today. But for what I'm actually talking about right now, we're going to pretend like none of this price action and none of these candles here actually exist yet. We're pretending like it's still 8 o'clock in the morning prior to any of this extra movement that we see here. So right now, approximately an hour to an hour and a half before market open, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the 1 hour chart, which is what we're on right now. And I'm going to look for what the current trend on the high time frame is. Just to give an explanation of what I'm talking about here, when I talk about high time frame, I mean anything above 15 minutes. 15 minute, 30 minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, anything like that is what I consider a high time frame. Now my favorite high time frame and the one I look at the most is definitely going to be the 1 hour, but the 30 minute, 15 minute, 4 hour, those all also play a role in my trades. I just don't use them as often as I use the 1 hour. I think the 1 hour is just really consistent and it works really well at tracking moves and finding trends that actually end up being good trades on a day-to-day basis. So now when I talk about finding trends and tracking trends, what do I mean by that? So again, on the high time frame 1 hour chart here, what I'm going to do now is mark off prior highs and lows, and I'm going to use those to see whether we're in an uptrend or a downtrend. Now, a telltale sign for an uptrend would be price action where higher highs and higher lows are created, whereas a downtrend would be price action where lower highs and lower lows are created. So what I'm going to do now using this 1 hour chart here is I'm going to mark out the prior highs and lows and see which direction we are trending prior to market open. So I'm just going to start right here. This is a relative low right here. This is a high point here. Here's a new low created here. And then here's a new high created here. So as you can see here on Monday, the 12th of January, you can see that we are in a steady uptrend. We are creating higher highs and higher lows and more higher highs, meaning that we are uptrending. However, you can see we create a new low right here, and this low is lower than the prior low. And then the new highs that we create here are lower than our previous highs. So you can see we are now starting a downtrend. And you can see we create a new low here, a new high here, and we are starting a slow downtrend. And then you see a huge sell-off here into another low. And then right to the candle that we're at now, the 8 o'clock one, we're entering a little bit of a pullback, and this is our new high right here. And again, just like I had marked out before, this is a full downtrend forming prior to market open, which is why the entire trading day today I was looking heavily into shorts, because on the high time frame we are entering a significant downtrend, meaning I was going to be bearish for the entire trading day today. So now prior to market open, we have an idea of where price is trending on the high time frame. So now the next thing I want to figure out is where is price heading in the future? And what I'm going to do to figure that out is I'm going to map out previous highs and lows just like we did before, and I'm going to set up these prior highs and lows. And in this case, because we're bearish and we're looking to take shorts, I'm going to highlight prior lows, and those are going to be my price targets for the trading day today. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my line tools, and I'm going to pull out my horizontal ray tool, and I'm going to use these horizontal rays in order to mark out prior lows that are going to be my price targets for the trading day today. So again, just like I talked about before, we're pretending that price is still right around this 25,765 area. So we have not yet taken out this low. We have not yet taken out this low or this one. And then I'm going to zoom out just to see, just to get a bigger picture of the market and see where price could possibly be heading in the future. We have not yet taken out this low, and also this one down here. So we have plenty of different price targets that we can aim for in terms of making good plays on the high time frame. Okay, so now that we know where high time frame is trending, and along with this we have our price target set up for the day, what I'm going to do now is switch from the high time frame to the low time frame, and from there we're going to look for where the low time frame is trending. Okay, so now here we are on the 1 minute time frame. Again, we're pretending it's still 8 o'clock, so none of this price action has actually happened yet. We're just going to be analyzing what has happened prior to this 8 o'clock that we're currently at. So as you can see here, we were previously in a downtrend, which would be good for us looking for shorts. However, recently you can see that we have started a little bit of an uptrend. So at the current point, 8 o'clock, we are in an uptrend, which means that we are not looking to enter in a position anytime soon. Once the low time frame lines up with the high time frame to where they're both downtrending and both looking bearish, at that point, that's when we're going to be looking to enter in some shorts. So now I'm going to get rid of this vertical line right here, and we're going to start tracking price as time actually goes on. And one thing that's actually important to note here is that we had 8:30 news, which was actually really important and impactful news. So on news days like that, we're going to try to avoid entering trades just until the news volatility starts to die down, because news can cause huge swings in either direction with no real reason behind them. You know, good news or bad news could make the market act in really weird ways. So we're just not looking to trade or gamble based on news, especially when the current trend isn't even in our direction. And also in general for the New York session, good price action and volatility and volume doesn't really kick on until well after 8:30 on a regular day anyway. So we're not really looking to take trades so early in the morning, like around 8 a.m., 8:30. We're looking closer to the actual market open, or a little bit after that 9:30 market open. We're not looking to get into trades super early in the morning, and we're also not looking to enter trades right as market opens at 9:30, because that is extremely volatile as well. It's really hard to set up a trade while price is moving so aggressively in both directions, such as when the market opens at 9:30. So once the open volatility calms down, that's another time to enter in a trade. But if you're already in a trade prior to market open, it's fine to let it run through the 9:30 open, but don't be taking trades at 9:30 or at 9:29, because that is when the opening volatility can just ruin your trade without it even getting a chance to develop. So anyway, back to tracking our short-term trend. As you can see here, we're still in an uptrend. That 8:30 news happens right here. It does give us a little bit of sell-off, but as you can see here, we created a new lower low and a new higher high. So price is at this weird point where there really is no trend at the current moment. We're kind of just chopping around in this weird area where we don't really have a direction. If you look here from like 7:30 all the way to about 9:30, price doesn't really do anything other than just trade horizontally. We have a little bit of ups and downs every once in a while, but we're creating new lower lows, new higher highs just randomly throughout this. So there's not really any good entries or any good price action that we're seeing right here that would make me think that this is a good time to get into a short. Okay, so now moving on to the actual 9:30 open, now that we found out that the pre-market didn't really have any good setups or any good price action, any good short-term or low time frame trend development. What we're going to see here from this 9:30 open is a steep sell-off immediately right away. We are breaking all prior lows and creating new lower lows, which is good. However, the only entries that really could have happened here, you could have tried one at like 9:31, but again, volatility is so extremely high. And this trade, if you were to have taken a short right around 9:31, you would have been up huge, but this would have ended up being a break-even trade in the end, because as you can see here, there was such a huge push after we had created this new lower low that we actually created a new higher high in this direction. So this was just a really weird market open for sure. And during this actual 9:31 candle, I was worried that I had actually missed my entry for the day, but Thankfully, we did retrace and create a new higher high here so that I could potentially enter in shorts in the future once we did see a downtrend. But just the fact that this open was so down and up, there's really nothing here. You could have taken a break-even trade if you decided to short right at 931. This would have been really sad to watch develop into a break-even trade being up so much. This one candle right here is from 732 all the way down to 6. So this is like a 50-point candle right here, and it ends up being a break-even trade or a small profit trade, whatever you would have done here. But either way, we did not continue our downtrend like we would have saw here. So let's say we did take this one break-even trade on the day. Moving forward, we create a new higher high. So at this point, I'm not looking to take shorts anymore either. So all we have to do is just be patient and let the price continue to work until we see confirmation of a downtrend. So now, as we're being patient here and watching the market develop, you can see after we create this new high, we do actually sell off all the way down into creating a new low. So price action the entire morning has just been creating new lower lows and new higher highs into this weird setup to where there really is no good trade to be taken during a time like this. But once we finally create this new lower low down here, we actually take out these two levels right here, these two price targets for us. They get taken out, but that's fine because there's still plenty of more levels that we can hit throughout the trading day today. But what's good for us is after these levels get taken out, we see a new lower high develop, meaning that this is the start of a potential downtrend to where we can start looking for shorts again. All we have to do is see confirmation in a new lower low being formed, and then at that point we can enter in some shorts and try to take some good trades. So at this point here, when we create our new lower low, we then create our new higher high, and then we pass this lower low, meaning that we're going to create a new lower low. And this means that we can start looking for shorts at this point. This is a confirmed downtrend on the low time frame, along with our already confirmed high time frame downtrend. Now, the last thing we have to figure out is where we're going to enter in before we hit our price target that we have mapped out on the high time frame. So now in a perfect world, you see these two candles here. These are called rejection candles. You can see price pushed up and was immediately rejected, creating these long wicks, which to me means that price tried and failed to reach above these levels right here. That is shown by the wicks created here. So whenever you see these long wicks and small bodies on a candle, this is a perfect entry point for me. However, this is not required by any means, but if I had a perfect entry, it would be based on having these rejection candles right here with these long wicks and small bodies trending in my current direction that I want price action to move in for like an ideal or an A+ setup. So now that we see price rejected one time from this level and then helped create this new low that is formed here, this new lower low, price came back and rejected again. So now at this point, we have our confirmed downtrend by this little candle right here. And then now that this candle has formed and rejected, we are going to enter in our trade right here. We have our price tool, our profit and loss tool set up right here. I'm going to use the wick of the rejection candle as my stop loss for this trade. You could move it up to this prior high right here. Either way, it doesn't matter. It just changes your risk to reward ratio a little bit, and it's going to affect how much money you actually make versus how much you risk. So if I set it to the stop loss right here, we have a 2.3 risk to reward, but if you set it to this prior high right here, it is a 1.4 risk to reward trade. Either way, a good trade nonetheless. This isn't the biggest trade that I've made, but this was a solid trade that I made today that if you're able to catch trades like this day in and day out, you're gonna be doing pretty well for yourself. So now I've gone over how I figure out my daily bias, whether I'm long or short on the day. We figured out how to track trends on both the high and low time frame. We figured out when to enter our trades, where to set our stop loss, and where to set our take profits for the day. This is my exact routine I go through every single trading day, and it has earned me $70,000 in payout in the past 2 months. Hopefully this cleared up a lot of confusion and I answered all your questions, but I'm sure I didn't. So if you have any more, throw it in the comments or hop in that Discord and I'll do my best to respond to you guys there.